Now, Ms. Moby has an interesting revisionist history with respect to foreign policy, which happens to be my beat. So let's visit foreign policy. Decrying Afghanistan. So I gotta go back in history, because I remember in my other committee having Ambassador Khalilzad, who was the negotiator for President Trump on Afghanistan. Is it true that the United States, under the Trump administration, had direct negotiations with the Taliban in Doha and excluded the Afghan government from that table and those negotiations, the very government purportedly we were there to support?
That is true.
Did that agreement that Ambassador Khalilzad, on behalf of President Trump, negotiate with the Taliban, did that also involve the release of 5,000 Taliban prisoners, many of whom were in prison because they were suspected terrorists?
Yes.
5,000. Have I got that right?
Those are the figures I'm familiar with.
And did that agreement also actually stipulate a full and complete withdrawal of U.S. troops by May of 2021?
I recall that it did.
Right. And did President Biden inherit all of that?
And more.
And did he try to extend the withdrawal to buy time to avoid the very chaos, unfortunately, we experienced?
That is what I understand.
And do you think it would be fair to say that actually, if we're decrying what happened that summer, we might want to look at the antecedents and the discouragement and the demoralization of the Afghan government and military from resisting the Taliban, given the fact that the sponsor of the Afghan government, purportedly the United States, had clearly abandoned that government? Would that be a fair statement, do you think?
I believe so.
Okay. She also talked about Ukraine, that somehow we should have, anticipated what was going to happen. Was there a president of the United States who withheld Javelin missiles necessary for the defense of Ukraine and threatened to withhold all military assistance to Ukraine until and unless the president of Ukraine, President Zelensky, provided political dirt on a political opponent?
I believe there was, and it was the former.
And was that president, in fact, impeached for that very phone conversation over that very issue?
Yes.
And would it be fair to say that that development, that threat, and that withholding of weapons might be construed, if you were Vladimir Putin in the Kremlin, as a sign of weakness on the part of Ukraine and a sign that maybe the United States wasn't going to be there should something bad happen between Russia and Ukraine?
Seems like a plausible.
And might that be enhanced by the fact that that same president, President Trump, actually praised President Putin on numerous occasions and even said that he trusted his word over U.S. intelligence with respect to Russian interference in the 2016 election?
That is unfortunately what the